Welcome back, guys, to more Let's Play Crash Bandicoot Sane Trilogy, Crash 1. In the last episode, we ventured off to Island 2, defeated our first boss of this island, Ripperoo, and in this episode, we are going to start collecting colored gems. So welcome to the Lost City. This was always one of my most hated levels in the PlayStation 1 game. Nowadays, as an adult who has a little more experience, I don't think this level is nearly as hard as I remember it being. But this is where I'm going to bring up a slightly mini rant. This level features a color gem. Remember those little silhouettes that we saw in levels that prevented us from being able to get every box? Well, they're tied to color gems. Color gems, there are 6 of them in the game. So there are 20 regular gems and there are 6 colored gems. Make sure you jump on those bouncy crates so you can hit the exclamation box that is hidden obscurely. Dick move there, Vicarious. Actually, that was a Naughty Dog problem too. Because if you don't hit that, you can't get this box right here to swam, so you can get the embryo token. But back onto my little colored gem tangent. There are 6 colored gems in the game. So, when I did my practice run of this, I figured, hey, so this means that the hardest levels in the game for me, which I think are the colored gem levels, are going to be so much easier because I can die. That's where I was wrong. You see, Vicarious still kept the whole philosophy of not being able to die in the colored gem levels. Yeah, that's a problem. So instead of 26 levels giving you hell, you have 6 levels giving you hell. And of course they are these 6 hardest levels because you can't die in them. Now, this level isn't that bad. I'd argue that it's one of the easier levels to get the color gem on without dying. But it takes practice, and you have to really know the level design in order to actually get through it flawlessly. But yes, there are 6 levels in which we must play through perfectly, and this is one of them. So, just know, you fall off on these platforms and land in one of those little flame pots, start the level over. You get jumped on by this enemy right here, start the level over. You stub your toe on a little spike, start the level over. You accidentally miscalculate your jump by 1 little pixel and fall to your death. You get to start the whole level over. It's not fun, guys. It's not fun. Anyways, we got ourselves another embryo challenge. And I would understand that this one would probably make a lot of people nervous. And I can understand why, because I almost got hit by those TNT somehow and I didn't. People always seem to get scared whenever there's boxes that you have to spin while on a TNT. What I don't think people understand is that if you're holding on the analog stick while doing the spin, your spin animation is going to collide with those TNT crates. But if you just stand in place, you don't touch the analog stick, and you just spin, you're not going to hit the TNT crate. You're going to hit the exact box that you wanted, and your animation is only going to collide with that box. So I don't understand why people have such a hard time with that. I also really hate the timing on this part. I mean, you have to get it just right. Because the bats and those platforms, it makes life so difficult, and I almost failed there, and I was getting nervous. The timing is so bad, you just really gotta study it. Because see, I almost didn't make it there either. Whew. It's crazy. But I do like this level a lot, honestly. I've grown to appreciate it more as an adult. It's still hard. But it's not as hard, because it's like, as an adult, you get better. So, you just gotta practice. You'll get it, eventually. Just don't play the PlayStation 1 version, please. It's just not fun. It's not worth it. It's not worth the struggle. But, why don't we talk about the voice actors? Because this is an interesting topic, because Sane Trilogy brings back the Radical Entertainment voice actors, but also brings back some of the Vicarious Vision ones as well. as well as some of the Traveler's Tales voice actors as well. There's a lot of fan service sprinkled in through the voice actors. So we have Jess Harnell back as Crash Bandicoot. He voiced Crash in Crash Tag Team Racing, Crash of the Titans, and Crash Bandicoot Mutant. And he's a great guy. He voiced in the Animaniacs. I'm so sorry, but I forgot the name of the one he voiced. It's the one in the red hat. But yeah, he's a pretty big cartoon voice actor. He also voices Ripperoo, and a character we'll be seeing later on in this game, Pinstripe. We got Lex Lang back as Dr. Cortex. He has been voicing Dr. Cortex since 2004's Crash Twinsanity, and he is such a fantastic, humorous Dr. Cortex. I was kind of worried how they were going to get the comical Dr. Cortex voice actor to do a serious Dr. Cortex portrayal, because Lex Lang is a comical guy. I love him to death. He's such a great voice actor, but his interpretation of Dr. Cortex is like a Saturday morning cartoon one, and Clancy Brown, who originally voiced him from the second game on to Nitro Kart, was a very serious Dr. Cortex. So, anyways, they actually did really good with Lex Lang in this game, I'd say. He does a pretty great job. But we also have Maurice LaMarche back as Dr. Nitrous Brio. He voiced Brio in Crash Bandicoot Mutant, and he was probably the best written character in that game, because Bandicoot Mutant's writing was just kind of... But I think he did a pretty great job. He also voices the lab assistants that we'll be seeing in this game later on. We've got Greg Eagles back as Aku Aku. He voiced Aku Aku in Titans and Mutants, and he voiced Grim in the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and you could tell because his portrayal of Aku Aku was quite literally just Greg. That's his name, sorry, Grim. But he voices Aku Aku in the Sane Trilogy, and he actually did a really solid job of replicating how he sounded from Crash 3 to Nitro Kart, or not Nitro Kart, Twinsanity, sorry. He voiced in Twinsanity as well. Not Greg, the original guy, the name is slipping my head. But I think he does a really good job in this game. I mean, I liked his portrayal in Titans. I thought he was hilarious as Aku Aku, but you could tell it was straight up just a Grim voice. We got Debbie Derryberry returning as Coco. She's been voicing Coco ever since Crash Bandicoot The Wrath of Cortex, all the way up to Mind Over Mutant. And while her Jimmy Neutron was starting to show, she's kind of reverted back to a healthy middle ground between the Jimmy Neutron-esque sounding Titans and Mutants, and the more laid-back Wrath of Cortex and Nitro Kart styled Coco. She also voices Crash's girlfriend, Tana, even though Tana doesn't really say any full sentences. She just makes little sound effects and says Yahoo whenever you complete her bonus round. But, yeah, it's worth noting. She also voices in that. We got Corey Burton, who we'll see in Crash 2 and Crash 3. He voiced as Dr. Engine and Dr. Entropy, and I died here. That was not fun. Let me get off the tangent real quick. See these Wumpa Fruits? Yeah, that's just not very good design right there. That's just evil. And there's gonna be a lot of instances of that in this game. But we're gonna get back to the topic of the voice actors. Yeah, so Corey Burton, he voiced Dr. Engine and Dr. Nefarious Trophy, characters we will see in Crash 2 and 3 respectively, but he didn't voice them in 2 or 3. He voiced them in their very minor roles in Crash Bandicoot The Wrath of Cortex, and that was it. Just The Wrath of Cortex. I'm kind of torn. Like, I loved the performance of Nolan North, aka Nathan Drake, as Dr. Engine in the Titans and Mutants games. I get it that he was going for a more comical character, and it probably wouldn't have worked as well, but I'm sure if they had put him in the right direction, they could have gotten it to work, because they've done that, like I said, with Greg Eagles, making him sound more like the original Aku Aku rather than the silly one. I really wanted Nolan North to voice Engine. Nolan North is such a fantastic voice actor that I was honestly really sad when I heard Corey Burton was voicing him. Corey Burton does actually a decent job as Dr. Nefarious Trophy. I'm obligated to say that I don't quite like it as much as I like some of the other intros we've heard, but he does a pretty well enough job. John DiMaggio, aka Jake from Adventure Time, Bender from Futurama, returns as Tiny Tiger, just like he did in Nitro Kart, and his performance is just as great as it was there, and we will see Tiny in Crash 2 and Crash 3. And he voices Uka Uka, who we'll see in Crash 3. He voiced him in Titans and Might of a Mutant. Oh, also we're backtracking finally. So we can take the green gem route here and break the 3 crates in order to get the gem. Thank goodness. So we start our backtracking process, so that's cool. We got ourselves our 7th gem. 19 to go. But yeah, John DiMaggio is back as Uka Uka, and they decided to take him just like they did with Greg Eagles on Aku Aku. His performance was different, and I love John DiMaggio's performance so much in Titans and Mutants. But I like the direction that they took him in this game because they tried to make him sound as similar to Clancy Brown's portrayal as they could. And I think they did a pretty great job with him. And we've got Dwight Schultz, sorry if I mispronounced that, as Papu Papu. He voiced Papu Papu in his very minor appearance in Crash Twin Sandy, and, well, I mean, he did okay. He did pretty good. There's not really much to go off of. He appeared very briefly and said a couple of random gibberish lines in Twin Sandy, and now he's here, and he did a decent job. He also voiced some loud assistants, apparently. And then finally, we have Fred Tatascore? I don't know how to pronounce his name, I'm sorry. He voices character in Crash 3 Dingo Dial, one of my favorite characters in the series. Koala Kong, who we'll be seeing later on in this game. The Komodo brothers in Crash 2. So we've got a nice lineup of voice actors here. They brought back a bunch of old ones, and they brought in one new one. So that's nice. That's a pretty great cast of characters you got there, and a lot of them are portraying the characters pretty well. They're either very good or they're just decent, but I think that the voice cast works well because it's a blush of old and new. It's a shame that they couldn't get anybody from the Naughty Dog days, though, you know? I really would have liked to have seen some of them. But I get it. They're probably just not wanting to do it anymore, and I get that. Clancy Brown is a very expensive man, so I can understand why getting him to voice characters like Uka Uka or Dr. Cortex would be hard. Plus, I mean, he's busy voicing Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob like season, what are we on, like season 20 at this point? Just let SpongeBob die, please. But anyways, I'm gonna get back to the game at hand here. We're at the Road to Nowhere, and this is one of the 2 bridge-themed levels, and if there was ever a level theme in this game that I don't like, it is the bridge levels. I don't necessarily dislike this level in particular, but the second one, you're gonna definitely hear a rant from me. And this is another level that we just can't complete right now. We're actually not gonna complete this level until, like, near post-game, I think. So yeah, we missed a few boxes, so we can't really do much here, but that's okay. It's whatever. Anyways, we're off to another boulder level. I think this is the last level we'll be playing in this episode. Yep, this is the last episode. Last level in this episode. This is the second and last Boulder Dash level, and Boulder Dash level. It's called Boulder Dash. Boulder Chase levels. My mistake. And this one is a lot harder, actually. I'd like to bring up a little trick from the first Crash game. It's called zigzagging. This boulder gets really uncomfortably close, and it gets really uncomfortably close in this version as well. There is a trick you can do called zigzagging, where while you're jumping, if you tap left and right quickly in succession, Crash can somehow gain a little more distance. It's hard to say if it works in this version. I tried it a few times and I just couldn't tell if it was working or not. So I just kept running and freaking out because the boulder feels like it's getting a little more uncomfortably close than it was in the PlayStation 1 game. And when I came back for the gem route, I actually got hit by this boulder a few times on my way. Because again, this is a level that you cannot complete on your first go, which is a shame. Like I said, it starts to show its ugly heads, where you gotta start backtracking a lot, and it's very frustrating. It's not horrible, mind you, it's just, like I said, frustrating. But, you know, at least Crash 2 and Crash 3 fixed this problem to a huge degree. But yeah, I almost thought I was going to get here because the boulder looked like it was really close on me, but it didn't, and I was thankful that I survived somehow. Yeah, same, Crash. Same. But, yep, that is the end of this part, guys. So, in the next episode, we're going to continue our adventure on Island 2. I'll see you guys next time.